Another lovely Saturday at the Sexy Brutale. Though it's the same Saturday, it's a lovely one nonetheless. Now that we've saved Willow Blue, it's time to go on to the obvious next person to save. Tequila Belle was her last name, I believe.
Okay.
Willow's next door neighbor and famous singer. Actually, you can see that of the one record that I picked up earlier, that her name was on it.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, Tequila starts out the day getting warned not to go into the painting room, but only to get killed in a different way, because you know the basics of how this entire game works at this point.
Uh-huh.
Though speaking of basics, we can now see ghosts, which puts a little bit of a spin on this conversation then. Tequila Belle. I did remember the name correctly.
Yeah, okay.
So, as it turns out, there's actually a number of different ghosts, and not of like the skeletons in the closet variety. Just got to look for these candles around here to actually be able to use them.
Well, I was going to say, this game isn't goofy enough. Like, it needs a little bit more goofiness.
Yeah, really? No, it certainly has not been incredibly tongue-in-cheek the entire time here. Absolutely. What could you even be referring to? And yeah, you might even notice that this one a little bit short of an episode, but that's because we're literally just going right across the hallway. Uh-huh. The area that everything's going to be taking place in, well, actually I saw quite a bit of last time. You remember the one room that I got trapped in when I didn't realize that Tequila was going that way? That is exactly where I need to be going right now.
Oh, nice.
And if your assumption is, oh hey, were those strangely solid things that were blocking me last time ghosts?
Huh.
I'm tapping my forehead. You can't see that, but I am.
Okay.
And if you think that ridiculous sound effect that plays every single time the ghost appears is kind of annoying, don't worry. You don't have to go through hallways as much as this one in the rest of the game. This one, though, is kind of like, it's a big connecting part of the mansion, so you see it a lot. Title card.
Wow.
One hell of a mask.
Really, yeah, interesting. Like, that would be very unsettling if somebody was wearing that.
I mean, you can see some of them are more fanciful than others.
I would say,
for example, Willow's is actually very subdued compared to like Reginald's.
I will say,
if
I saw somebody and they looked like that, I would guess that they were a singer named Tequila Belle, with no prompting. If I just saw somebody at a masquerade.
I don't think this is technically supposed to be a masquerade ball. I think that it's part of the magic. Like, oh no, am I going to say Persona? Am I going to reference Persona? Well, the concept of a persona.
Okay, yeah.
Rather than being like a literal mask.
Look,
after all, every single time you see one of the characters die, their mask kind of burns off of them.
I mean, we've all seen the Twilight Zone where they have masks that represent the persona. Right.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah.
Also had a skull mask, if you remember that episode.
Yeah. Because I'm
worn by the head of the manor, which it's a little bit too early to tell, but given the mysteriousness, perhaps it might have something to do with what's going on here.
I will wear the death mask because of how alive I am. That was actually
dies at the end
if
of the
you've
episode.
Seen that episode, that is actually kind of a silly part of that.
I don't think he wore it because of how alive he was.
Well, that's what he says.
I'm fairly certain that Rod Serling had a little bit better screenwriting than that going into
it was a little bit better, but that was the concept. It's like, oh yeah, we're all going to wear masks that represent the opposite of our personalities. As I'm in the fit of health, I'm going to wear this mask representing how alive I am, and it's a death mask, so.
Well, it looks like a big skull. To be fair, given the twist for that episode, I would have also gone with the skull mask. That would have been cool.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I don't think that is a hot opinion or anything.
It's a great episode. Everybody check it out.
So anyway, hey, now as always, first thing to do, figure out how these people actually die. Usually you want to look at the guest, then you want to look at the staff, and then kind of see what you can actually do. Like I said before, it's never supposed to be tremendously complicated, but I still love the idea of like going around here and kind of seeing what's happening.
Yeah, I love this.
Hey, get out of here! We're listening to the song.
Kind of a gruesome thing where you get to see all these deaths.
A macabre, lurid. What's the word?
Macabre as a noun. I don't know.
Spying on people.
Voyeuristic, or is that right?
Yes, voyeuristic sort of thing.
Okay. Yeah.
So anyway, did you ever see those old Bose commercials where the glass shatters? It's an obvious way for a singer to go.
Yeah. And I feel like it had
I think it was Bose, right?
It was because of a key that he pressed, right? Like, or the
Oh no, she just sings like that.
Oh.
She can just sing that well.
So she doesn't die because of this. She's still... That's really weird.
Well, no, she's...
Well, we'll see.
You look at the amount of blood on the ground right now.
Oh, okay.
It's not going very good.
Yeah.
Also, you can clearly see developer photos in the background. Every single time, I was got to point that out. Yep. I don't know. Is broken glass... Would you say broken glass, even of a fancy window, like a stained glass window, would you call that refined?
I don't know. It would really depend on how it looked. I guess, I mean, for like a nightclub, seeing a stained glass window, I guess, no, that's kind of tacky, actually. Like, wouldn't that be kind of like a cheap, like... That's kind of like an Olive Garden vibe.
Well, given how the marquee works, no, it's probably the most expensive thing in that entire room. That's a room that contains like a grand piano. Well, anyway, so going all the way back to episode 2, the spider, Trinity was first alerted to the spider, like being in the room after a body was thrown down from the ceiling. There you go. Closed that mystery. Shoved right into the... I mean, I believe they describe it, or at least we'll eventually see it described as like a laundry shaft that was turned into something a lot more macabre, to bring back that word again. Saw this one earlier. This was also when I was spying to see if I could figure out who the hell was fallen from the upper room. Because the obvious thing would be that it's Reginald, but it didn't quite look like him. Still a mystery. By the way, we don't have access to the chapel anymore, so it's not like we can really check. It feels like something that's eventually going to become important later. Once again, it's not difficult to figure out if characters are in rooms, but I still kind of jumped the gun anyway. So yeah, from the very start of the day, the staff member is in there playing the piano, tickling the ivories, etc., and so on.
Yeah.
And also this, which I guess Tequila takes off when she goes through the room earlier. It's like you can see where this is going, right?
The record is coated with gunpowder.
That's right. You shouldn't eat this record. It might explode. There we go. Somehow when I was going through the areas earlier, I could not find the clock. I genuinely do not know how that happened, but it's right there. Not that it really matters to get a checkpoint into this room because, you know, it's so close to everything else, but still. There's Ghost.
Ooh.
Hey. Unfortunately, the entire thing is kind of dependent on me lighting up those candles, and I don't have anything to light candles right now. So, not really... despite having the new mask to be able to see ghosts, it is kind of unusable in a lot of circumstances. Unless the candles are already lit up around here. Alright, going from the beginning. It's like, once again, that guy's still in there. Yeah, starts out the day in there. You get no chance to sneak in there and try and grab that object on top of the
piano?
On top of the piano.
So you
like before anybody gets into the room.
I see. Okay.
Which I believe that object. Basically, I slam forward a few hours just to get an idea of like, okay, how do you use this thing? What do you use this thing for?
Mm-hmm.
Storage closet. So what does it actually do? Couple ghosts, which I can't see because I don't have anything to light up the candle. But I'm just looking to unlock something. Anything at all.
Give me something I can use.
Yeah, obviously at this point in time, Tequila is already dead, so there's not really too much to do. So let's basically go around and look at some more stuff because, I don't know, man, it's not like I'm going to solve this mystery on this run through.
Yeah. The diamond.
Shatter diamond, yep. Very
interesting. That's actually
very similar to what we've been seeing here so far. Nothing on the turntable, not there's going to be. I didn't grab that earlier. And I guess Tequila took the record with her? I don't know. Yes, because once again, the Marquis is incredibly rich. Okay, there we go.
So
everybody's vacated the room.
The same.
Are you the storage closet? Yep.
The same,
okay, got it.
Is the stained glass window made of diamonds?
That's the hardest metal known to man.
Huh? And so
it's just like, okay, got it. Solved the puzzle. Easy. I think it's once again, this is a fairly short episode because we go directly into the area, and it's also a fairly straightforward puzzle, all things considered. Going to be a little bit of a timing aspect to run in there and grab that key, but as soon as the staff guy is out, it should not be a problem at all.
There's no point before like Tequila dies
that I could grab that.
Yeah.
No, unless you were to somehow to get the staff member out of the room.
Mm-hmm.
Wink wonk. I really thought that it was going to have to do with the record that was downstairs, because there's another record player down in the bar that is playing right now, and you can take the record from that. But as it turns out, no, there's just another one right in here, which makes this that much easier. So go slam a jam that thing down on there, and then see what's going on. Because usually you'll get like some sort of hints as to what exactly you should be doing if you're looking at the staff members and what they're doing earlier in the day.
Mm-hmm.
For example, seeing the staff talk about like setting up the security cameras and everything was a very important part of the second mystery. But here, since he's just on here playing this piano the entire time, there's not really too much to be gleaned.
Mm-hmm.
All right, come on. Yes, tricky part. Sure would be annoying if you were getting irritated by something playing in the background. Get your ass off the piano already. Okay, there we go.
This is such an essential video game experience where you plant the trap to get somebody, the guard to leave their post, and you just wait, like this contrived conversation where, what's going on over there? There's a rabbit. What the hell?
As we're doing the whole time loop a month on the channel right now.
Yeah, I guess.
Not intended in any way, but here we are. It's just like we'll see that quite a few times. What I like to call recursive January. No, give me a better name for this.
I don't know. Off the top of my head, let's see. So recursive January, time loop. I don't know. Janus, maybe something with Janus.
It's the end of the year because it's this. No, that's nothing.
The end of the year, and we know it. It's not. It's the
come on. There's got to be some. Like I had Nin January last year.
Uh-huh.
Where I played a bunch of ninja games. Even though the biggest game of that, Ghost of Tsushima, was definitely not a ninja game, but whatever, close enough.
I would consider that to be,
You were definitely sneaking around and like murdering people. What are you talking about?
Yes.
Anyway, feel like there's I just insist on doing theme months occasionally.
Yeah. Recursive January. Gone till November.
Time travel. No. Time Travuary? No.
Timuary.
That sounds like February anyway.
I keep coming back to Timuary, which is dumb and stupid.
Timuary?
No, Timuary.
Oh, Timuary. No, that's still... No. I said that like that made more sense. No, it didn't.
It does kind of have that the B-Sharps joke from The Simpsons, where it's clever the first time, except it's not clever, but it seems less clever every time you say it, even still. Like,
speaking of that, we said we were only going to be making Simpsons references in the 13 Sentinels.
Travuary. I don't even remember.
And here we are in Sexy Brutale.
Let's see.
Whatever.
So,
hey, they both got similar themes to them.
ooh, intertextuary. I don't know. Almost. Thought I had something.
Janner texture? No.
I was going for intertextual and January. I don't know if that works though. Intertextuality. No, if I have to struggle to say it, it's not a clever name.
No, or maybe it's extremely clever, and the tongue twisterness of it is.
Yeah, that's like a Freudian thing. It's in the unconscious or whatever, the collective unconscious. Freud's famous concept.
Where it makes too much sense.
Yeah, intertext.
You want to say it, but you can't.
Intertextuary. Yeah, that might be good. I don't
think that works.
Okay, no. Okay, fine.
I think we got to move away from uary.
Yeah, okay, but then what else would there be? Like, it's the first month of the year.
Time. Does chronology?
Well, so time month.
Circles, Ouroboros. What's the infinity symbol loop? Mobius strip.
Yeah, Mobius strip. Yeah, Moebuary.
Strip.
Moebuary. I don't know.
Closer.
It's still very stupid. I mean, doesn't make any sense. Like, oh yeah, it's Moebuary. He's playing all these intertextual games that have time loops.
Yeah, it's like, if you were just to say, would that make any sense to anybody if you said Moebuary? It has to be kind of like instantly recognizable as to what you're talking about.
Yeah. I mean, maybe you just can't include January.
No, it can be like the beginning of the year too. Hey, I didn't die. Then again, I'm not entirely sure if Lefcadio can die at this point. But yeah, strangely enough, this is in fact the way that you want to make progress. Are you sure about this?
Mm-hmm.
Shows, the music, the life, and now we're all stuck in a time loop where everybody dies.
13.
Speaking of which, hey, what's that guy been up to? Still haven't seen him. Which has been a very, the opening card for the game, the press start to continue. Hey, once again, I don't know if I can actually die.
I totally missed her plot.
It featured the marquee on there, but we still have yet to see him.
I have to admit, I completely missed what was going on in the plot because I was focused on trying to think of that intertextuary, and I can't, that name.
Well, this is the really interesting bit here. Remember I was talking about the golden masked guy who would just kind of like appear in rooms, but not in ways you could ever interact with him. Because he was always exiting a room whenever you entered it, or when you just looked at there.
Yeah.
Like looked into the door.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now he's actually making a move here.
Ooh.
Some sort of demonic entity. There's obviously a lot of like supernatural things going about here, and this seems to be one of them. Okay, I do the Silent Hill head spinning around thing. And then this is what you actually use to light up. It is considered it's actually the second key item that I'm going to be getting in the next episode, but for right now, let's just use the lighter for its intended purpose. You consider this to be a a little bit of a preview of the next section.
Okay. And I'm assuming
Indeed.
there's been a lot of candles around in this game at this point that you need to get around.
Not a ton of them, really.
Okay.
Usually associated with either solving some sort of puzzle or like getting one of the cards or invitations, as I'm doing right here. Which is kind of the important part. Which, as much as I am loath to show you key items early, it's like, whatever. Look, I need to do it so we can actually see this here.
Okay.
Stepsister of Trinity Carrington. So, and they both died right next to each other. How grim.
Wow.
Anyway, I think this might actually be the first time that we see that the Marquis does, in fact, have a wife. No, they definitely mentioned that in the previous thing, where the Marquis's wife was the one who was very, very interested in the fish kept in the guest rooms. But anyway, plenty of other stuff. Instrument pool room, not actually a pool room, but, similar in a lot of ways. But yeah, if you've been noticing speaking of the next episode too, if you've been noticing the announcements about there being a show at 7:00 that happened at the start of every single loop, well, we're going to finally get to see what that's about.
Ooh.
Because that has been otherwise just completely barred off from me up until this point. So that is going to be a fun one. Tequila stage, despite the fact that, it's seemingly extremely dangerous to her, but hey, that's what the bloody woman was talking about. Apparently, the staff are also big musicians, which is interesting.
Yeah.
The only instrument they're playing these days, though, is the mortal one. Is that anything?
Well, actually, that is pretty.
I know that the phrase "mortal instruments" is a thing, right?
I feel like it is a common thing where you get like people working at places with fine instruments who are like themselves pretty expert at music. They're doing
especially if everybody's able to use them.
Yeah, to get
want.
access to the instruments. Yeah.
And a little bit more information yet again about the shoot leading downwards I was talking about. Everything's connected in a way that I think is really neat.
Yeah. The lore of this game is really neat.